foundation is on. I'm wearing the Maybelline SuperStay foundation, and I just wanted to bring this up briefly because I did review this in November, I think, and I was wearing the shade 330, which was too deep for me, a little bit too orange. So I'm wearing the shade 312 Golden, which is a much better match, but I will link to that review down below. But let's go ahead and get into the concealers. I'm going to be wearing the No Filter concealers, and I did not know which shade to get, so I picked up three. I picked up the shades Light 20, Medium Tan 35, and Medium 30. None of them looked particularly yellow to me, so I just really was not sure where to go, and I do like quite a bit of a lighter concealer under my eyes, but I like it to have goldenness in there so it doesn't leave my skin looking gray underneath the eyes. So let me try, and I've heard that it oxidizes a little bit. And I do have a blog post of swatches of this concealer, which I will link to down below, swatch next to the NARS Radiant and Tarte Shape Tape, if you're curious to find your match. I'm going to try Medium 30. And the reason I mentioned in the intro that this took so long to kind of put together was because I ordered this over Black Friday. They had a sale, so that kind of enticed me to order because if you didn't know, I am Canadian, so ordering from Colourpop, Elf, albeit these are affordable websites, I'm paying in American, which means I'm paying even more, and then you also can get hit with customs at the door. I did pay about $25 upon arrival of this order. I did split this order with my friend LJ. I'll link to her channel down below, but the order still wasn't, I think it was maybe about $150 or so worth of stuff. Anyways, it had been about 25 days, and I kind of checked in and they were like, no, that's normal for international shipping, it will show up soon. And then it had been like over a month, so I took to Twitter and I was like, is that normal? And they were like, no. So then they emailed me and they gave me the options of either getting my money back and reordering, which wouldn't really work because I'd ordered during a sale. I think it was like 30% off, so I would lose out on that. Or I could get it shipped out to me again, but if it got lost again, then they basically were claiming no fault. So I was kind of like, that's a really weird policy because it didn't get lost because of something I did. I'm gonna add just a little bit of the light. Call me crazy. So I'm using Medium 30 and Light 20. But yeah, they were like, if it gets lost again, then like you're out of luck kind of thing. So I was like, all right, let me order it again. Not order it again, let me have it shipped out to me again. Gonna let it set under my eyes a bit and just blend out what I have on my face here with the Real Techniques setting brush. Anyways, so they shipped it out again, and it came super quickly, like within a week. I don't know which one showed up first, but either way, I got both of the boxes within the span of, I think, 24 hours. How weird is that? Like the box didn't show up for 4 months, then it showed up and then showed up twice. So I was like, what? Anyways, that leads me to my giveaway. I have a Ziploc baggie here full of a few items that are doubles that I don't need. So I'll list down below all of the giveaway rules, and it will be listed on my blog if you want to go enter. But yeah, so I have double the product now. But I just thought it was so bizarre that it showed up like within 24 hours of each other. Canada problems. Like if you're American, just don't take for granted how good it is you have for shipping of makeup items. Like it's like when you have a flu and your nose gets like really stuffed up. I let it set a bit, I'm just gonna blend it out with my fingers. And then your nose gets really stuffed up and you're thinking back of like, oh man, I really took for granted all the times my nose wasn't stuffed up. It's one of those situations. I mean, I love Canada, glad to live here, but it can be really frustrating and annoying with makeup sometimes. Because it's like, yeah, that's affordable, but a $6 product is really closer to sometimes an $8 product, and then you either have to get to a higher limit to get to free shipping, and when you do pay for free shipping, that does not guarantee that you're not going to pay customs at the door. So you don't know until it shows up, and they're like, hey, can you give me an extra $25 to get this package? And you're like, oh my god. So far I really like this concealer. I feel like there's a lot of good concealers out lately. I don't know, I think they're just getting like more full coverage. I saw a sneak peek on Instagram yesterday of a new Too Faced concealer as a part of their Born This Way line, but I think it's like a higher coverage because they already have a Born This Way concealer. It looks like they're coming out with another one. I think I'm gonna do a concealer video of like new concealers and then concealers that are newer to me, kind of chatting about them a little bit because it is a little bit light under the eyes. I'm just going back in with my foundation brush. There's not really any foundation on there, but I'm just gonna kind of blend it all together. Okay, I'm gonna go set my face and then I'll be right back to try some more products. So up close, I don't know how much I love this concealer so far, but I will of course need to try it some more and report back. but I am going to use their new brow pencil. I have used the other Colourpop brow pencil before, but it wasn't as mini as this, and I did really like that. So this is their Brow Boss, and I have the shade Light Brown. It feels quite a little bit creamier than I was expecting. Feels a little bit creamier than like an Anastasia Brow Wiz or a NYX Micro Brow. And I do go quite light in my brows for brow color. Like in Benefit, I wear a 3, which is like light brown. I just find it's the most flattering on me, and it's the least harsh. I don't like anything too harsh on my brows, and they are quite full already, so this feels like a pretty good shade. Doesn't seem too red. Because I remember, I may have told this story before, but the first time I ever did my brows, because I never did them, it wasn't a thing when I first started doing makeup. But then as I got into it, I realized, oh, people fill in their brows, and I was like, oh, my brow hair is black, so let me use something black. And I used a Wet n Wild black eyeliner, and I filled them in, and I was like, I don't think that's right. And it was so harsh. It was like full-on drag, essentially. I didn't leave the house or anything. I knew I had gone awry. I didn't realize that in general, if you have deeper hair, you go a shade or two down, because you're just kind of trying to create dimension and hairs. You're not just trying to like full on fill them in, or I'm not anyways. But yeah, that was something. But yeah, this pencil feels nice. But what annoys me is like when this runs out, I'm not gonna buy one until there's another huge Colourpop launch or they have a big sale or something, because it just gets way more expensive. So I hate finding staples from Colourpop. So my brows are about done. I still need to gel them, and I feel like someone mentioned to me that the new Colourpop brow gel is really good. So let me know if you have tried that, but I like to gel my brows after I've bronzed. But I'm gonna move on to eyeshadow. These are shades that I've already mentioned to you before, so I'll link to a previous Colourpop haul down below. These 5 shades along the bottom are what I picked up most recently. I think I'm gonna do mostly the purples and the peach, and probably lean into some of these other shades, but I have had really good experiences with the Colourpop singles. Oh, I want to quickly mention that I have a 3 looks 1 palette video using the Colourpop Yes Please palette, which was one of my absolute favorite palettes of all time, and it's just such a good one. But when I placed the order with my friend LJ, she had purchased the Double Entendre palette, and she got 2, and she so gracefully gave me one of them. So let me know if you would like a 3 looks 1 palette on this palette itself. I'm not going to use it today, just in case you do want that. So to start my look, I am going to go in with one of the older shades that I have, which is I Owe You. And I really wanted to love all of the Colourpop Super Shock stuff, all of the stuff they came out with initially in those kind of white pans. I would buy it, and I loved it. And the swatches were gorgeous, and the posts were gorgeous, but I just was never reaching for them. Especially the face stuff. The eyeshadows I used a little bit, and the texture was interesting, and it was just like the perfect kind of internet shadow, because it was just so impactful on swatch and it looked so good. But in practice, it just was not something that I used. Gonna take a little bit of that same shade on my lower lash line. Let me know if you put shadow on your lower lash line. I feel like I was so intimidated of it when I first started doing makeup, because it just seemed really extreme, almost like gothic or smoky, but it really does kind of round out a look to me, and I don't think I really do much without putting a little bit of something on my lower lash line. So next up, I'm going to be using Going Steady. I feel like I really haven't played with color in a while. I don't know what. I go through phases of like using so much color and then using no color. I kind of went out of eyeshadow in general actually for a little while there, and just towards the outer corner of my lower lash line as well. And purple is not a color I play with very often, even though, you know, they say like, oh, you have brown eyes, wear purple. I just love like pinks and reds and oranges. This is actually such a pretty shade. Let me know what your Colourpop faves are, by the way. My favorite product that they make, okay, I have 2 favorite products. They're lip liners and they're Ultra Satin Lips. The Ultra Satin Lips I think are one of the best lip products I've ever tried out of any brand, any price range, anything. Those are my fave. So I'm gonna take the shade 143 and then wait for it. I'm gonna put 143 on the lid and see what happens. Wow, this is so pigmented. This could be a huge mistake. I've never done this before. But at the end of the day, I can wash it off. Or at the end of this video, if it looks like crap. Ooh, it's kind of pretty. It's very impactful, very full of color. And I always use my finger on my lid. And I use my finger for concealer. I don't know, I like it that way. And then I want to see what happens when I add in a little peach. That Wait For It shade I mentioned. And this shade is quite powdery. A lot of the shades have quite a bit of not fallout, sorry. Actually, I barely have any fallout on my face, if any, but they have a little bit of kickback when you dip into them. I have no idea what to put on my inner corner, so I think I'm going to take a shade out of the Double Entendre palette. I was like, should I put something kind of pinky in there, but I don't want to make myself look sick. I didn't know, because I need to put something in there because the purple just kind of comes to like a sharp halt. But I feel like that this gold doesn't really go. And whenever I do any kind of look that has like purple or reds or oranges, it really comes together once you put on liner and mascara, because right now I'm like, what have I done to my face? But hopefully once I get liner and mascara in there. So for my bronzer, I'm going to be using one of their pressed powders, and the only annoying thing about these is that they come in like a single pan if you want to put it in a palette, or they come with one of these, and it just is annoying because you kind of had to like write on the back or stick the sticker on the back because they all look the same, because I have a blush and a highlight, so they all come in the same packaging. Anyways, this is in the shade Rodeo Drive, and I think it might be a little too deep and warm for me. I looked up swatches, and this is so powdery and pigmented. I looked up swatches, but there wasn't enough kind of reference, and that's why I've been doing these reference blog posts, is because I never find them. And so when I get a new foundation now, I'm always doing that post where I swatch it next to other foundations, because seeing it on someone's skin is only slightly helpful, because obviously their skin probably isn't going to be like yours, and I can rarely ever find anybody who's kind of my skin tone that does this kind of thing. And I just find it helpful because lighting is different, and it just is another kind of easier way, especially when you're buying things online. So hopefully you've been enjoying those. And I think I have one for this bronzer too, actually, so I'll link it down below. So I like this, but it is like I have to tread quite lightly. But that is good that it's deep, because that means people with deeper skin can wear it, and there are shades above this and obviously shades below. Let me just gel these brows. Nothing worse than a droopy brow. For blush, I'm super excited about this shade. It's beautiful. It's in the shade Main Chic, or Main Chic, I think. Again, seems really powdery and pigmented. So the blush, bronzer, single eyeshadows, and highlight are what will be up for grabs in my giveaway. They're not going to work for every skin tone, but I was like, what else am I going to do? So I might as well give it away. And even if you're lighter and the bronzer is too deep for you, you can use it as an eyeshadow, or give it to a friend, or donate it. Yeah, this blush is gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of the Balm Swiss Dots. And then for highlighter, I'm going to be using the shade Boy Next Door on my Ingot 4SS next to the Morphe R38, I think it is. This is my next favorite highlight brush, and I'm really excited to try this one. There was another shade that I really wanted, but they were sold out of at the time. That was kind of like this interesting banana yellowy sort of shade. Ooh, this is pretty though. This is a semi-dense brush, so I'm just treading really lightly at first. I don't want to go crazy. But yeah, this seems really beautiful, quite impactful. I was just looking up closely on my skin, and I feel like it's not chunky, and there's no glitter, but it's not the most natural, we'll say, which is fine, but just a heads up. You can always tread more lightly or amp it up, but it is really pretty. I really do like this shade. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too deep, but it's a beautiful shade. Probably should have put this on my inner corner. Didn't think that through. So I just realized I totally forgot about how much I loved these, and I can't even remember what they're called. It's rubbed off. That's the one problem with Colourpop stuff, is that the name rubs off really easily, but I love these. Let me know if you'd like to see like a Colourpop lip collection, because I feel like I have a lot of Colourpop lipsticks that I really love, and I've kind of forgotten about them. So I'm going to use their matte lipstick in the shade Tootsie, and I'm going to pair it with this lip liner in BFF3, which is one of my favorite lip liners of all time. It's just perfect for me. And the formula is amazing. You can wear it all over the lips, or as a lip liner. I'm gonna pair it with Tootsie. See how that looks? So there you have it. That is my finished look and mini Colourpop Try On haul. For me, the standouts today so far have definitely been the blush and highlight. Absolutely love those. Concealer I'm going to need to try a little bit more, but I have high hopes. The eyeshadows I'm really impressed with. The bronzer I like, but it's a little bit of a miss on the shade. Brow pencil was nice. Everything was good. I've had quite good luck with Colourpop stuff. I've really enjoyed a lot of it. The only thing I haven't really enjoyed is like customs at the door and shipping. But I think as they continue to grow, it will only get better. And they've recently were introduced to Ulta, I think it was. I guess Ulta won against, I'm sure Sephora and Ulta must just be battling it out to no end to get products lately. It's crazy. So Ulta won that, which is no help for Canada. But hopefully as they continue to grow, their international shipping will get better. And I really do enjoy the products. I think they're incredibly high quality, incredibly affordable, and even if you do end up paying an extra 20 bucks at the door, a lot of the time you're still getting so much more product than you would when you walk into a higher end store. And they've got a huge range of shades, huge cool amount of colors, and there's just so many great formulas in there. So I have nothing but good things to say about Colourpop. I really enjoy their products. So let me know down below what your favorites are from Colourpop, and of course be sure to enter my giveaway, which all the details will be listed down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!